to Napoli, because he missed the scenery, the native dances and the charming songs. But wait a minute, something's wrong. 'Cause now
In our live stream, yesterday, I talked about this series of GBP economic data to be released, and I called this move a whipsaw move, which I illustrated on the stream. Now, this is typical definition of whipsaw move. This is a whipsaw move, as you can see, just like I illustrated yesterday in the yesterday stream. A move that will make you lose irrespective of the side you are. If you buy, you lose. You sell, you lose. Let's break it down a bit for you to see, and the time of the release of all those news. So those news span from 12 p.m. Those news did span from 12 p.m. to 12:30 and current 12 p.m. to 12:30. So I marked that at this is 12 p.m. candle, and this is 12:30. So you can see in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 candles, we had different reports and data being given. So the official bank rates vote, it was not exactly as expected, but it still supported some level of bullishness. And the bank rates, just like as forecast 5.2%, and it also came out as 5.2%. And then this speech coming out by 12:30, the speech that came out by 12:30, and this is the 12:30 candle. So you can see the whole volatility did drive. It's not something one-sided. So the economic data is from 12 o'clock to 12:30. They all had different impact on the market. This one supported bullishness, this one supported bullishness, and this speech here, it did. Let's see what is in the context of it. Meanwhile, USD news is coming up in the next 6 minutes. So you can see there is restriction in the policy. There is restriction in the policy, and it's kind of air of negativity here. If you look at the related statements being released, And I think that might see the end of the little bullishness that those two news actually brought, which drove this reaction here. So you can see it would have been difficult to be profitable with trading this news the way it is, because this is 5 minutes and the initial news, some were statement not measurable, then one was bullish. Now you can see the initial reaction was a straight bearish reaction, and then we became bullish. The speech drove the market down, and from the bounce up we're having this reaction on GBP itself. So I think that's a difficult one to trade, and the air there is a bit of negativity, so I will give attention to that. But for now I'm switching over to DXY because I'll be trading that. But this is not a live call, neither a financial advice, so it's just my thought process, me executing the execution. See how long we got. So we have 4 minutes 22 seconds counting, and my chat is loading. Okay, just like I was explaining in the last stream, so this was my bullish target for DXY, which is the dollar index. It's taking almost forever to load. So this is the dollar index. This is the dollar index itself, and the news is coming up in less than 5 minutes. Okay, 2 minutes 48 seconds. So the anticipation is bearishness from these figures, so the possibility to see a bearish reaction. But then just like I was explaining in the yesterday's stream, these figures, they are pretty tight, so I'm going to be trading after the news and not before the news. After the news. So 1 minute, less than 2 minutes to go for the news. So we're looking out for possible bearish reaction given the forecast that we were given. We're looking out for bearish reaction, and if it goes according to the forecasted figure here, anything that supports this forecasted figure, then I'll be looking for bearish opportunity. I'm not going to trade this one prior to the release of the news. I will be executing after the release of the news, after the release of the actual data. The reason is because sometimes this data can be unreliable. You can see how many times out of the last 5 data released, 3 were revised.
Please come back, darling, now. Hurry back, hurry home to mom.
So in 20 seconds, looking for bearish anticipation according to this data, and before that will be depending on the data. That is what will spur me to take a trade. I'm not going to scalp or run or whatever. I'm not running into a trade. I just want them to release this data. So it's pending currently. During this pending period, you'll normally see something against this forecast, so that means price should likely be buying. Oh, now there we have it. Okay, let's see if it has been released in another platform. This guy is clustered with ads. And okay, it's a bit confusing there. So it's still pending here, and it's this move here so far. Now this move, this whatever you see here, this pending taking so long usually does a lot of damage to traders who trade news, because this time where the news pens can be used to do every sort of move in the market, whipsaw, something against the data that is to be released or whatever. So other than me not feeling comfortable trading prior to the release of this, I'm still lucky because okay, fine, the data has been released and it's even worse than expected. They expected 226,000 people to claim this unemployment claim, but 227,000 claimed it. So that is not good for the currency. That is not good for the currency. Let's see if there are related stories. No related stories currently. Let's refresh our page. And this figure has been adjusted to 221, revised from 221. So this adjustment just happened, I guess. Okay, I refreshed my page. Let's get back to it. Fine. 221, revised from 221, so it might be fractions less than 1,000, the revision there. So as you can see, it is actually going opposite ways right now. So the whole profitability for the actual data execution did actually exist while this trade was likely pending. I'm looking for related stories, but I can't find any related stories yet. I need related stories to support my bias. Now the two things here is this news 130. This is not good for the economy, but just like I was explaining, the margin was not much. So it might not really do much harm to the economy. When you see margins like this, 251 to 237, these are high margin. They likely be much more volatile and have more impact. But this one, just 5,000 difference, and overall this is 6,000 different from the previous, so that is not much harm. So that means this news might not have too much impact, even though if it's high impact, but the data that was released is a bearish one. So this was where we had the most bearishness for the post-actual data release, and this market will still be held probably in consolidation till this second news coming up by 3 o'clock. So after the release of this news, you will likely see a clear bias in the market. Clear bias. So this one is bearish, and if this one is released as bearish, then I will be short on USD till the next data release, which will be tomorrow. Let's see that. Thursday and Friday.
You're the one I We're like Jack and Jill. You're so kissable. Is the love light in your eyes?
Okay, so we have 130 for USD, 130 for USD. So that will be less than around 20 hours from the release of this last news. So that will be enough time to like get a bias, and for the New York PM session we'll likely get clear bias given the time this guy will be released for the New York PM session. So this data is bearish already, and we can see the market reacting to the data already. It's being bearish currently, and that's basically it. So the next one we have coming up is this guy here. This data is bearish. This one has been revised, and the decision for this GBP is still kind of very unclear for me, but it has air of negativity around the speeches and positivity with the data has been released. So the data has been released. These two spells positivity. Let's see this 8. This 8, let's see what they stand for. I think the 8 stand for people who voted for the interest rates to be increased. So 1 voted for the rates to be held, 0 voted for decrease in interest rate, and 8 voted for increase in interest rate, and that was why we had this from here to here. Now we don't actually have enough statistic to be able to be easily profitable with this trade, because then we have a summary here which is not measurable, and we have a speech here which is not measurable. So these two news spell positivity, but if you check all of the related stories, you can see some negativity surrounding the currency of GBP there. And for this US data, just like I was saying, it was a bearish one, bearish economic data release. So just like I said, my entry after the data release, entry after the data release, and easy possible targets without running the trade too far will be just running to sell side liquidity here. Okay. Easy one given the news. So yeah, it's like I said, I was waiting for the data to be released for me to execute, and the execution of this execution here on the negative side of the market, the bearish side of the market, because the data release was negative also. And just like I was saying, this news might not have too much impact because the figures are not that extensive, but it's still a bearish one, so a win is a win there. Just easy targets, and I'll collapse some trade if we hit this level. I'll collapse trades when we hit that level. So I'm trading from my phone. So I can't actually share my positions here, but from the data being released, This is what we had, worse than expected. And I was trying to look for it here. Jobless claim, initial job. Okay, fine. I think this is it. So this is it. And okay, the consensus on this particular platform is 227,000, but on my forex factory calendar, the forecast was 226,000. Consensus is a figure agreed on by most platforms, so this is more like average of every platform, this consensus here. And this is it, something negative for the economy, because the number of people who claimed joblessness related benefits increased from 21,000 to 27,000. So that is what we are seeing the market reacting to here. And as you can see, we're already hitting our target. We're very close to our target, where I'll be collapsing the first series of trades, and literally that's it. So it's a very easy one, so I'm still looking for possibility for this guy to give me more volatility to the bearish side, because although we are in industry expansion zones, but from last month, the performance that is being anticipated for this month is a bit underwhelming than the one of last month. So I'm looking for the possibility for this to drive some bearishness into the marketplace. So this one is chicken pie and Pepsi is already secured here. Chicken pie and Pepsi is secured already, and we're looking out to hold that till maybe Lambo or wherever. So let's see, somewhere that can be possibly nice target. And it's taking forever and 2 hours for my trading view to load up. And trading view is bored and not loading up. Okay, cool, perfect. And you can see how fast we are running. And the world driver is this guy here, the increase in joblessness claim. And you can see how powerful these economic data can be. So it's not really a case of any form of technical analysis here. I was just trading off the data released here, just on this data released here. Oh my god. So I don't even have this whole story recorded on my phone, otherwise I would have been posting a chicken pie and Pepsi video to TikTok. So this is another possible target, another sales and liquidity that market can possibly run. So this is live and a bit boring to wait for that in a live session, but this is it. Very clear, we're almost sweeping the second liquidity, and it's really not something difficult. Okay, so I have trade from my group, people showing me profits, and yeah, this is nice. Same thought process, and most of them called this bearish move. So my execution was after the data release, so this bullish candle. So I just needed an extra layer of confirmation before I get into the trade. I needed extra layer of confirmation.
But oh my dear, our love is here to stay. Together we're going a long, long way. In time the Rockies may crumble, Gibraltar may tumble. They're only made of clay, but our love is here.
I'm going to be ending this live stream, and goodbyes.